Hey everyone, Dominic Esposito, and welcome to an edition of the clinic for the Drill Instructor Way. And I want to talk to you today about one of the key reasons your stroke gets out of alignment. Special thanks to Diamond Billiard Products for the best pool tables. I'm a little spoiled, but thank you, Tony, for perimeter lighting. You really need to get the best over your pool table players. And thanks to the many dealers who take care of us, and most especially you, fans, friends. Let's get to work. Now, you're all familiar with the quantified speed training that you need to do on a pool table to master cue ball speed control. You set up 5, half a diamond out, and then you land 3 out of 5 in the zone. As you advance, you could do 5 out of 7. I personally, and my pros, I prefer you train at 7 out of 9, make the zone. Now, throughout the drill, you're making sure you're landing in the sections, like your 1 speed, this 2 diamond range. And for the first 4 speeds, you might have the balls lined up. But once you get to 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, you move the balls to the side and put 1 ball in the center because you need to stay between these 2 diamonds the entire time. This is what today's lesson is about. Once the speed begins to excel into the 5 or greater, you begin activating muscles. And if these muscles don't fire correctly, they will cause your stroke to go out of alignment. One of the things many players don't realize, when you're using open bridge and you're using a high speed, 5 speed or greater, it's not uncommon for that cue to hydroplane off because in the back, you're over gripping because you're flexing muscles. And you're wondering why this stroke keeps getting out of alignment or why you're missing shots you never should have missed. Anybody can shoot a ball on a straight line if you're shooting the ball slowly enough. But what commonly happens when you pump up the speed is the ball just starts going all over the place. And then how do we turn this into a 9-speed shot stroke and get it to just stay right in your lane, like that. The whole key is in the elbow. If you take a stroke and bring that elbow down, you've created 2 strokes. You've created this first stroke, and then you've created the second stroke. And it's between the transition from the first to the second stroke, you come off of alignment. You need to keep that elbow pinned. It doesn't come down. Doesn't come down to the basement, doesn't even come down a few inches. Once you drop that elbow, you throw your shot line out of alignment. That doesn't mean you'll necessarily miss. Pockets are big enough to handle more than 1 ball sometimes, so you got a little play in that area. Typical pool stroke, most pool players. And what happens is that tip comes up, you arm drops, can't get draw on the ball, can't get much of anything on the ball. Plus, at higher speeds, you start gripping tighter. You can see the white knuckles. So the minute you flex that, you're picking up the front of the stick. And then you're invoking these muscles all through the shoulder, then the chest. And the problem is you're shooting so tense. One of the things you can begin working with is by putting your palm on this 3rd diamond, using the middle diamond as a cue ball and using the cushion and the rail as a guideline, and see if in fact your stroke is moving too much inside, too much outside, or does it land straight? Some of you might find if you come to a wall and practice using it like this to help you feel grooving that straight stroke feel and keeping that elbow pinned. Now, if you're a person who likes to be higher up on the chest over the cue, or you like to be down in the chin on the cue, either way, that elbow needs to stay in the same position without it having to come down to another position. You could see that when I come in at center ball and I'm taking aim, shot stroke, the tip is coming straight down to the cloth because of my follow through. If I go up to 3 tips of top, same thing's going to happen. I'm coming down at the follow through. If I go to 3 tips at bottom, same thing is coming through. Tip is going to strike because I pin the elbow. How do you know you're at center ball? And how do you know your English is even accurate? Since 9 out of 10 pool players can't see the center of the ball, I rely on my Pro English trainer to show me precisely if I am at center, if my exact precision on tips of English is right, both top, bottom, left, or right. And through the clear plastic, I can quickly see if I'm off center or directly on center alignment. The Pro English trainer teaches me to see perfect center ball, precise tips of English. It keeps me down on my stroke so I'm not picking it up, jumping up quickly. It gives me more consistency to see my follow through, and it teaches me exactly how to calculate the deflection on my shaft of my cue. The Pro English trainer is a valuable tool. Keep that elbow pinned, and your shot's going to stay on line. So remember to aim straight, shoot straight, split the pockets, because that's the drill instructor way. Hope I see you on the next one. Hey, get yourself a Pro English trainer. Trust me, you're going to be so glad you did. I'll throw some sliders in there for you to get to try them. Okay, listen, I love you guys. God bless you. See you next week. Bye-bye.